Christchurch, the most interesting city in the world, with such landmarks as the Convention Center, where we saw an allegory for modern-day cinema, a food market with the population density of Kowloon Walled City, and the Convention Center again. There was more before, but several earthquakes have leveled the city over the years. I guess its residents just can't take a hint. You can also go on a tram if you want. I don't know, we mostly ate food, but the food was super tasty and real decadent. Stay tuned.
The convention center that we saw, and actually, I realize that the convention center may not sound like the most exciting thing. As you know, we cover sustainability.
Te Pai Christchurch is a certified carbon net zero facility, and as far as we are aware, we are the only convention centre globally that is a certified carbon net zero.
And when we went and did the tour, and when we got done with the tour, they said, we want you to meet Oscar. And this is what Oscar looks like.
All of our food waste bones goes into Oscar, and it comes out as the soil food that, as we said, goes into the gardens. So it's not a very attractive, very exciting piece of equipment, but in what it does, that's exciting.
He's like a trash compactor, and there's a picture of Oscar from Sesame Street on it, and this thing actually saves them a lot of money and makes them more sustainable. How exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But that's not all there is to the most exciting city on Earth. There's also Hagley Park, our favorite hangout.
They have a great botanical garden. If you ever get to go there, just lovely. They've got plants from all over. We have this rose garden that we decided to go to.
Aiden, do you want to set this one up? Because you actually went into the rose garden and you sampled the wares.
Yeah.
Yeah, would it sample the wares?
I guess
I wouldn't use that in this
not if you're talking about roses. You went to the rose garden and did some reconnaissance. I don't know. You did some...
I did some window shopping.
Okay.
I stopped and smelled the roses. I'm here at the Rose Garden in Hagley Park, and I just wanted to show you guys how beautiful the roses are, because I personally like to stop and smell the roses whenever I can. It is a rare occasion in which my nose is in something legal. That one smells like springtime. Let me smell another one here. That one smells like a woman. Ooh, this one smells like an older woman, which I prefer. The garden is disc-shaped with several circles of roses emanating from its center, with one giant ring of dahlias upon its exterior. Ooh, that one smells like poison.
You know what poison smells like?
I eat poison. It's good for the immune system. You know, I really wish I could take some of these flowers home with me, but there was a sign out front that said, no deflowering. So we're gonna have to leave them be. This is what the flowers look like before they've bloomed, and this is after, and honestly, she's really coming along nicely. I know a light stroll around the flower garden might sound more appealing, and though a walk around the entirety of Hagley Park might be a bit heftier, it's got great personality. Back to you guys.
Christchurch also has a food market. It's the only food market in Christchurch.
If you couldn't tell by how densely populated that place is. And also, people don't know how to walk there.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, you'll see a family of 5 walk into the food market, and they will refuse to not stand side by side the entire time. If you want to walk through that place, it's stop and go traffic. I didn't even think that was possible for people who are walking. Good food, though.
Food is good. Favorites, Aaron?
Well, our favorite, of course, is the Indonesian restaurant, Indo Tempe, which is, you just have to go there. We hadn't tried their whole menu, but with the amount of time we've been in Christchurch, we have almost been able to try their whole menu, and you have to try the baked rice. What they do is they take rice, like a big thing of rice, they put tempeh in it, they fold it up, and then they bake it.
In the food market, there's also a really great place for pizza. We went and tried some, and this is what it was like.
So one of the main attractions in Christchurch is the indoor food market. We got a couple of pizzas at Base Pizza, which is probably the best pizza place in the entire indoor market. We decided to record ourselves eating the wood-fired pizza because it's our second favorite place behind Indo Tempeh, as we are big proponents of mediocrity. In fact, we're such big proponents of mediocrity that I've stumbled my words, and we're going to keep it anyway. We're going to see how good the pizza from there is. We got a couple flavors of pizzas that have toppings that we haven't had yet before, and we're going to see if they taste good. Thank you very much.
Pizza. Good.
This is the Supreme Pizza. Let's see how good this is. Oh, that's actually really good. Yeah, no, I would eat a whole one of these. That was the Supreme Pizza from Base Pizza. This is the pepperoni pizza, and I think they added like some peppers and other stuff to it, I guess. Okay. Whereas the last one was delectable, this one is extra delectable. I like this one. What do you think, Dad? Okay, that was the pepperoni pizza from Base Pizza. This is the fungi pizza. It's got mushrooms and feta cheese and other fun ingredients. Boy, am I sure excited for this one. I love mushrooms. That tastes like mushrooms. I like mushrooms. This one's extra good because I like mushrooms. Okay, and that was the fungi pizza from Base Pizza.
There's also an espresso place in the food market that is legendary. I mean, the barista there gets awards. It's called Espresso Studio, and I had a chance to enjoy some of the Espresso Studio along with, there's another place that does really nice vegan treats out in the park. And this is what it was like. This is the Espresso Studio, one of my favorite places for coffee in the entire world. It's right behind the Riverside Market, which is a big food market in Christchurch. Wow. Okay, that's so good. The drink to get here is the long black. Now, some say there's no difference between an Americano and a long black, but actually there is. An Americano is made by pouring hot water over 2 shots of espresso, and a long black is made by pouring 2 shots of espresso over hot water. This is Ethiopian coffee. It's fruity and tastes a little bit like honey. It's so good. And what makes this place even better, they do a triple shot standard instead of a double shot. It really gets your motor running. Now, of course, you have to pair the coffee with something like maybe a sweet treat. And for us, there's nothing better to get than a Snickers bar from a place called the Barefoot Eatery. I wonder if they use their feet to make it. Their bare feet. That's really good. Goes good with the coffee. All right. Back to you, boys. Architecture is a big deal in Christchurch because it's like the AutoCAD city. Why do you actually coined that term, Aaron? Why do you call it the AutoCAD city?
Well, I call it the AutoCAD city because, firstly, if you look at the history of post-quake Christchurch, there were a lot of architects that found work because all of these buildings were demolished after the earthquake and they needed something quick, needed something earthquake proof. And so actually there were a lot of new constructions and they surprisingly look really modern. And this is something that you'll see in New Zealand is these buildings that look kind of hyper modern. They look very, very simple, very plain, and so it sort of looks like you're looking at an AutoCAD rendering of a building, which is why I call it AutoCAD chic or something like that. You could call it whatever you want, but in any case, there are tons of buildings that look way too modern. They look like maybe ahead of their time. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I decided to make some smart comments in front of some of these buildings, and of course also some older buildings as well.
Christchurch, ever since the earthquake, has been a study in architectural modernization, taking inspiration from around the world and on high. Behind me is Christchurch Cathedral. In 2011, it fell apart, and since then, it's been cursed to eternity in limbo, like La Sagrada Familia and Notre Dame. And like good Christians, the people of Christchurch couldn't wait to get a modern cathedral and a giant sports stadium right behind it. Margaret Mayhew Family Playground. Now, before 2011, this used to all be paved over. So kids, if you want more playgrounds, ask Santa for another 6 or 7.0 on the Richter scale. To pi. They created organic architecture that looked like it secretly wanted to be a perfect cube. But don't worry, it won't break, not under the next earthquake, but maybe under the weight of a neutron star. Or maybe also Gorlock the Destroyer? The Deloitte Building. Now this is what you get when the shareholders ask for greater transparency. But the architects, they blue-skied it. University of Otago, Christchurch campus. Now this place looks like it's a glass box that someone tried to build a Chinese temple on top of. And unfortunately, light only ever comes through those windows very early in the morning and late in the evening around summer. So it's almost never in the light. I'm Aaron Elliott reporting from Christchurch. Back to you guys.
All right, so Christchurch, guys, what were your impressions of the city?
It was very riveting, compelling, engrossing, and it's where everything is happening in New Zealand. Go there.
Aaron, would you recommend Christchurch to anyone visiting New Zealand?
Well, frankly, I think that there are cities with more going on, obviously. And honestly, its location is not necessarily ideal, but its prices are good. It is really beautiful, and you are close to some New Zealand Alps. And that's also where there's this train that leaves that goes to the Alps as well. It wasn't running last time I checked, but in any case, if you want to do that, Christchurch is of course the place to be.
I like Christchurch. This is our third time to Christchurch, so we come back a lot. It's just very quiet, just not, like the boy said, not much going on, but it's...
I didn't say that. I said it was riveting.
You were being facetious, though.
No, this place is the cat's meow.
The AutoCAD's meow.
The AutoCAD's meow. Oh, that was a good one. That was a bad one, but it was a good one.
That was so bad that it was good. Yeah. I like Christchurch. And we're going to be back. Yeah. I think we're going to come back. I don't know when. Maybe at some point.
Sadly, though, we don't have any food to eat. No food. Sorry, guys. But we are going to read your comments.
In our last podcast, we asked you what the most traumatic weather event was in your travels.
And the most traumatized commenter.
The most traumatized commenter gets a free subscription to Elliott Confidential.
For a year.
For a whole year.
Yeah, whole year.
Okay.
Kathleen, by the way, you're a legend now in our comment section because of this comment. On our only trip to Hawaii, we booked an Airbnb in Kauai down a dead-end road. We actually did the same thing on the Big Island. It was down a dead-end road. Is that common? Just steps from the ocean. The house was slatted to let the breezes flow through. On our second day, the rain started falling. The third day, the power went out. On day 4, the heavy rain caused a culvert to sink from the road, rendering us trapped. Someone who knew our owner threw us a pizza from her truck. Now here's my question. When they threw it, did they throw it in the box like a regular toss, or did they throw it like a frisbee?
This is such an awesome comment of having a pizza thrown. And I think, Kathleen, I think I remember your case. I think I might have advocated your case with Airbnb, possibly. That's a classic case. This is being rained out of your Airbnb.
Yeah, one of the best comments ever.
I love it when people throw pizzas at me.
Lawrence writes, we were visiting relatives in England and they took us to the Old Globe Theater. It was enchanting, but we were freezing. We live in the Arizona desert where cold weather is anything below 60 degrees. Well, sorry to hear about your freezing weather. I'm sure that right now, plenty of people are experiencing much, much worse, but we love Arizona and we love the weather down in the Valley and in Phoenix, especially this time of year. Very comfortable.
Weather in England is always bad. I don't think we've ever been there when they've had good weather. The last time we were there, it was a heat wave. Remember that, guys? We were in London.
Yeah.
And it was like...
The one time
it was...
We brought the heat with us.
People were going... There's no air conditioning, so people were going to the museum to stay cool.
Yeah, to be fair, British people, they always think Americans bring the heat with them. And I'm not talking about weather.
Yeah, okay. Tim says, we were visiting family in Taiwan about 20 years ago. While we were there, a typhoon hit the east side of the island. By the time it got to us, it was a tropical depression. For about 3 days, we saw more rain and heavier rain than I've ever seen. Even taking the step from one facade to another, all of about 2 feet, would render us soaked. We just hunkered down and rented DVDs from the store next door.
Wow.
Have you guys ever experienced rain like that? Can you recall?
Yeah, well, I can remember clearly when we were in Phuket and it rained for like 3 days straight. There are definitely other examples that I'm just not remembering. But you know, the great thing about Taiwan is, and this is totally tangential, but you can get Airbnbs that are inside of family marts in some places, and the family mart's in the train station. Have you seen those before?
No, we should next time we go to Taiwan.
I would love that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
That's very cool. We've been Southeast Asia is legendary, of course, for its monsoon seasons, and we were in Vietnam. We were in Da Nang, and they were telling us about how bad it gets, where the water comes up to the steps of the hotel during like in September. Crazy stuff.
This week's question of the week is, what's the most boring destination you've ever been to? The most vegetative commenter gets a free subscription to the Elliott Confidential newsletter. Can't wait to see those comments.